Okay, that's for the recorder, so I can sync the audio later, not to scare you guys. So welcome to the social class, social psychology. It's 3:15, just in case you are in the wrong classroom. All right, so first we're gonna do some introduction, mostly me, and then we're gonna go over the class and chapter 1 in a little bit. So my name is Ch1 Wan. I'm a PhD candidate here, which means that I just need to finish my dissertation and I'll get my PhD. So please call me Wan or Mr. Wan or whatever you like. Just don't call me Professor Wan. I'm not a professor yet. And remember that, that's gonna be on your exam. All right. So I'm from China. A province named Guangdong. It's here in the south. So I'm gonna have some accent. If you can't understand me, ask me. And if you really can't understand me, you might want to drop the class because I don't want you to waste time here. I had classes before and I can't understand the professor. Sometimes it's a waste of time. I'm not gonna be offended, so please don't worry. So I graduated at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So UNC, just in case you didn't notice that. And that's me, jumping in the air. All right. And this is my family. They're all in China. I'm here by myself. I'm an international student. So 3 interesting things about me. First, ball is life. I love playing basketball. That's when I was playing in China, and I was playing here in the intramural here, I think 2 years ago. We got the championship here too. Not surprised? All right. Second is that I don't have any sibling. I'm the only child. And third is that I love teaching. I love interacting with my students. I love them to ask questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. That's last year, that's the year before. All right, so for you guys, if you want an extra credit towards your total grade, here's your first opportunity. For the online people too, hold on. All right, sorry guys, I didn't know I have to admit you guys. So I'm going to see if I can set up the room that you can just join without me clicking on the admit button. Well, so if someone is trying to get in, it might take me a minute to notice because I also have to teach in person. So please arrive on time next time. All right. Okay.
This is kind of like an offshoot question. For people who are attending in class, do you want us to submit a picture of ourselves with masks on so you can help recognize us?
Oh yeah, please keep the mask on. It sucks, but it's a requirement.
No, I mean for the picture though.
Oh, for the picture? Oh!
Yeah, for the picture.
Oh, sorry.
Would you like
You're
us to
going
have
ahead.
the mask on in the picture so that it's easier to recognize?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I will get to that. Okay, all right. Oh, so for the extra credit, put your name, your year, your major, 3 interesting things about you. Why did you take the class? What topics are you interested? And 1 picture of yourself. So I usually do this so that I can recognize people and I can remember their names. But now everyone's wearing masks. I think I can still recognize you guys. And especially we have a smaller class. Let's do that. So with mask, without mask, your choice. I will try to remember you guys. And submit it on eCampus. You can go to part 1, week 1, extra credit. So only Word documents and PDF can be read by eCampus. Make sure you submit it using those formats. And this is due Sunday midnight. Also, because I can't see the online people, right now I'm teaching and the screen doesn't show me your reaction or your responses, I'm gonna give you my phone number, and if there's any question, text me so that I can see what's going on and if people need to come in. So my phone number is 432-269-9838. All right, so online people, if you have questions, text me. All right. Okay, next, we're gonna do some course overview, including our syllabus and policies. So you can access the syllabus and all the requirements through eCampus. You guys can see this, right? I don't know if this is blocking the view. Okay, if you can't see, you can move around. So the syllabus looks like this. If you haven't, take your chance to look at it. So my office is in room 323. However, I don't think I will be working there throughout the semester. So my office hours will be by appointment. Just feel free to email me and we can set up any time that's convenient for us. And my email is right there, and it's also on these syllabus. The required items, first you need your eCampus website. I think you guys know how to get there. But I think we also have some freshmen. I don't know if they're here. But go to your eCampus website. That's where you can find all the announcements, your lecture PowerPoint, quizzes, assignments, and projects. So I will post this PowerPoint slides afterwards, so you don't have to worry about copying down the notes. Everything will be on there. So just pay attention in class, participate in class discussions. So textbook, usually it costs about $100, but because of COVID, I know everyone's broke. So I found this free textbook for you guys. You're welcome. So yeah, it takes a lot of time to reorganize the class because usually for instructor, we get our textbook for free, and that's how they make money. They want you to, I'm just checking see if it's the online people, sorry. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but anyway, if instructor, they choose their textbook and the students have to use their textbook, so they will earn money from that. And you know, they're super expensive, so usually they will try to get the instructor to send emails to you. Please use our textbooks. Please use our textbooks. But I found a free one. If you just click the link, you go to this website and it looks like this. It's also on your syllabus, so you can do that. Oh, another thing is that because we're using a different textbook, something might be kind of weird. So you're expected to read the textbook and listen to the lecture at the same time. You can't just listen to the lecture and not doing the textbook because there will be differences. Right? So iClicker or Reef app. How many of you have iClicker? Okay, some of you don't. So this is helping me to get the class response and also get your participation grade. I might think about it. If some people don't have it, we might not use it in the future. I still need to think about it. I'll let you guys know. All right, for in-class participation, I will record each class, as I mentioned, and I will post them on eCampus. So if you have to miss class on that day, you can just go back and watch the lecture. You can also attend the class via Zoom if you don't feel comfortable that day, don't feel like coming. Just go to that link. It's also on eCampus. So in class participation, they're very important. They're 5% of your total grades. Also, if you come to class, if you attend class on time, you will find out potential extra credit opportunities. Once that's passed, you can't make it up. So attend class. And we will have plenty extra credits throughout the semester. Also, we will have class discussions and iClicker questions. I expect you guys to participate in that. Quizzes. They're open book, but you have to complete them individually, so you can't work together. And they're very easy. They're designed to help you prepare for the classes for that week. And for your exams, it helps you familiarize what the exam is going to look like. So make sure you do them. They're available on eCampus every Friday at midnight because I need to make them. I can't really make them more available earlier. So Friday midnight. They're due 9 a.m. on Mondays. So there are no makeup after the deadline. Make sure you finish that within that weekend. There will be 12 quizzes in total, and you can drop the lowest 4. So some people might say that's harsh. You don't allow us to have makeup, but I let you have 4 chances. If you forget, don't worry. Just don't forget more than 4 times. All right. For your assignments, you have 3 assignments in total, 5 points each. Also, we'll drop the lowest one, and there's no makeup for the assignments if you can't submit it before the deadline. And we will have 3 exams in total. They're non-cumulative, and it's 40 points each for your exams. For your final team project, it's also 40 points. So it's like another exam. It's very important. And you will need to work in group. You cannot work alone. You will have 3 to 4 people each group. For the online people as well, make sure you guys talk to each other. And I don't know if you guys can see me, but get your group together. We will have the project day, and we can do that together. So don't worry about this for now. We'll talk about this more. Okay, so for the team project, you will need to design a study. It can be empirical or it can be correlational, observational, but you need to write a report that's 8 to 10 pages long. And at the end, you will need to make a poster. So the poster might cost some money. It's not as nearly as much as a textbook. So I feel better for making you guys to do the poster. How many of you want to go to grad school? Okay, so a lot of you. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm trying to mimic what it's like to be in grad school and what you will be doing. You will need to collaborate with people. You need to design and conduct a study, write a report, and make a poster at the end. That's why I'm doing this. It might sound a lot of work, but we will work together, and it's not gonna be too hard, I promise. Okay, so make sure you contribute equally and consistently. There will be an intra-team evaluation at the end. If your teammates think that it was unfair, they did the work by themselves, they're gonna write that. And you might not have the same grades as your teammate. So make sure you contribute equally. Here's what the grades look like for the whole semester. It's on the syllabus as well. If you have any questions, please ask me. If you need to get an A, you need to get 179 or above. All right. Okay, so for COVID-19, I'm sure you guys already heard about this 1,000 times, but still need to mention it in class. So you need to do self-monitoring So make sure you check your own body, make sure you're healthy. Participate in class remotely if you have a fever or if you have any symptoms of COVID-19. And make sure you wear a face covering on campus. It's a requirement. You can only wear a face shield like this if you have a letter from the school. So this is not as safe. So I'm just doing this because if I wear this to do the lecture, you might not hear as well, and it keeps falling off if I'm speaking. All right, make sure you maintain 6 foot physical distancing. All right, classroom rules. Be respectful. No texting, no Facebook, no, what else? Instagram, anything like that. So please don't do that in class. It's distracting to the people who's behind you, and I might notice it. It might disrupt the flow of the class. So don't do it. No chatting. I don't think you guys can chat because you guys are sitting so far away from each other. Sometimes we had that when I was teaching Psych 107. Some students there just got out of high schools. They used to talk in class, and that's why I put it here. Oh, if you have to text, call people, do Facebook, just walk outside. No hard feelings. Sorry about this. I have to keep the volume on so that I can know if people are asking me questions. Yeah, if you need to do this, just do it outside, and you don't need to raise your hand, say, hey, can I go outside? You can just walk outside. And please come to the class prepared, which means you need to do the readings. We're gonna have class discussions, and make sure you have questions to ask me. Participate and ask questions, right there. Okay, do not cheat. There will be 0 tolerance in this class. If you cheat and I found out, you failed the class, and we'll go to the honor console. Do you guys know the honor console? Okay, have you guys been there? Good, good, keep it that way. So honor console is a real pain in the butt. Just like a long process. It's gonna be on your record, your grades. It's gonna have a star here. It says you cheated. It's not gonna be good on your resume or your CV. So don't cheat. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or if you need any ADA accommodations. Just email me and we'll talk about it. And lastly is to respect for diversity. So please respect everyone in the classroom because it's a social psychology class. We might talk about some sensitive topics. So I just want to tell you guys this is open and safe environment. You can express your opinions. And if we don't disagree, we can disagree with the views, the opinions, but we're not targeting at the person. Does that make sense? So any kind of views, any kind of opinions are allowed here. You can express your opinions. Just be respectful. Oh, and the limits of confidentiality. You can look at the syllabus for more details. Basically, is that if you tell me something and it's very serious, I will have to report by law. I can't keep your secret. So if you have something to tell me, make sure you think about it before you do that. Sometimes we have students like that because we're a psychology major. And for your email, please put Psych 315 and your topic on the subject title line because this helps me guide through hundreds of emails, and then I will know which one to look at first. And you can find the details in the syllabus as well. All right. So for your first quiz, it's gonna be about your syllabus. This is due Friday, which is in 2 days. It might sound a lot of work, but just the syllabus, and it's open book. So it's very simple and straightforward. Please do them. Again, you can access that through the eCampus in your week 1 folder. All right, any questions so far about the policy, about classroom? Yes?
Are any of the quizzes timed?
The quiz, they are timed. I think I make them 20 minutes, and there are only 10 questions on each quiz. You have 2 minutes for each question, and that's plenty of time. And if you think you don't have enough time, make sure you read the textbook or the syllabus thoroughly beforehand, so you don't have to try to find where that is when you're doing the quiz. Another reason that it's timed is because when you take your exam, your GRE, they're all gonna be timed, so practice that. All right, any other questions? We're good? Okay, so expectations. So this is a challenging, similar. How do you pronounce that? Similar style course. Thank you. Sometimes I might have like my brain blanked. I don't know how to pronounce things. So there might be more work than a typical psychology class here. However, I promise it's gonna be worth it. And this is on a class, right? Just make sure I'm not. Okay. Some people you might not know this is on a class, or you guys know that it's on a class. Okay, you guys know, right? So there might be more work than other classes. There are 2 other social classes as well. I think the major difference is that you need to do a study here, and then you need to do a poster. But it's gonna help you in the future. All right, I have very high expectations for you. So I expect you to read all materials before class. Lectures only cover the most important part because we have so many and we only have like about an hour each class. I can't cover everything, so make sure you read on your own and then come to class, get the most important ones, and then ask questions. Okay, you're expected to lead or participate in class discussions. Sometimes I will let you guys lead the discussions. I remember when I was in undergrad, when my professor did that, I was like, what the heck? Like, I paid you to teach me. Why am I leading the discussion? Do you guys think that? It's okay if you think that, because I thought that too. But it turns out you learn better this way. And it's not like I don't have anything to do. I just need to prepare, and I need to prepare for your questions. I need to guide the discussion if you talk about something and then it got heated, the topic might shift, and then I may need to put it back. So anyway, if you don't like this style, come talk to me. I don't think I will change the style, but I will try to explain why I'm doing this. Hope you understand. All right, you can find more details on eCampus again, so expectations. Also, if you have any questions throughout the class, feel free to stop me. Same with the online people, just send me a text and I'll answer your questions. So now, I already tell you my expectations for you guys. I want to know what are your expectations for me. So think of your past experience. Sometimes you will be like, oh, I love it when my instructor does this, and I really hate it when my instructor does that. So think about it, and then tell me, what are your expectations? You can just raise your hand. Yes?
I like timely grading.
Say that again?
Timely grading.
Timely grading. So how fast do you want me to be?
Not like super fast, but like I've had professors professors wait like weeks or months to grade projects.
Oh, it's not gonna be that. It's not gonna be that. And also for your quizzes, they're graded automatically. So I'll put the feedback on there. If you make it right, I'll give you some feedback. Make it wrong, I'll explain things and tell you where to find the information. For the exam, speaking of the exam, usually we'd do it in person. Now we have to accommodate for people who are attending the class online. I might do it on eCampus as well. What do you guys think? Okay. The only problem is that I can't really proctor that way. If you cheat, I won't be able to find out. Let's just do it that way. And then if you guys cheat, it's your future that you messed up, not mine. So I'll just take you accountable for that. Sounds good? Well, if you don't trust yourself, you know that you're gonna cheat, just talk to me and then we can schedule like a individual exam time. All right. Okay, oh, so be honest, let me know what you think. And I promise I will do my best. So very good. I don't think it will take too long to grade all of them. Yep. Yes?
For the exams, I know like in the past I've had instructors and they kind of...
1 second, sorry. This is too tight. It's hurting my head. Okay, go ahead.
In the past I've had instructors and they have like objectives for the exams. So for the exams, is it going to be like mostly like lecture and book combined, or are there going to be like times where you're like, don't worry about this material, or is it kind of like everything I say like is on the exam?
Okay, so pretty good question. For the exam, it will be, I want to say 80% of them are come from lecture. So pay attention in lecture. 20% will be from your textbook. You still need to read a textbook though. It has more information. So yeah, good question. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes.
In the past, I've had professors that will do like a review PowerPoint,
Mm-hmm.
or at least put the main points on like one document.
Mhm.
Is there going to be something like that for the exams?
Do you want that?
Yes, please.
Oh, see.
It's just a consolidation. Like I know you have to go back and read everything else, obviously, but to know the main points and be able to check off, oh, I know this point part, I know this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really helpful to have it all in one. This is what's going to be there.
Yeah, so I do that for the intro class. The reason that I'm not doing it here, I'm not planning to do it here, but if you guys really want it, I might do it. It's because, you know, in future, in life, there's not gonna be a review sheet. You're not gonna have a checklist. Oh, I did this and then I'm covered. Also, another thing is the textbook. Read them. You don't need to memorize everything. That's my teaching style. I don't want you to memorize. I want you to understand things, ask questions. On the exam, all the questions will be like scenarios. Oh, sorry, I have to stay here. I forgot. Remind me if I go over there. I forgot what I was saying.
The scenarios
Yes.
on the test.
So on exams, there will be scenarios. It's not going to be definitions. So there's no point to memorize. Oh, what does this mean? Do I need to write it out? No, you just need to recognize it. For example, if I told you that, oh, in social psychology, we discovered that, let's say, trying to see, love will make people more impulsive. You need to understand that. So on the exam, I'm going to ask you, under this certain situations, you're feeling sad, angry, love. Which one will make you more impulsive when you buy a lottery? when you gamble, and you will say, oh, when I'm in love, I'll be more impulsive. That's just an example, right? So it's not like you need to memorize everything. And another reason is that for the lecture, they're already the most important part of the textbook. So you can just use the lecture as a guide. If you understand all of that, you should get at least 80 points on the exam. And then read the textbook, understand stuff. The textbook questions are going to be very easy. I'm not going to make trick questions. So the exam should be pretty easy for you guys. Does that make sense?
For that
Okay.
exam, like example, would the answer just be love, or do you do like a paragraph explaining why?
Oh, you mean on the exam for
like the
you?
format. Is it like gonna be?
You just
response?
select love.
Okay.
You don't need to explain. So it's not going to be an essay or short answers. Yeah, everything is going to be multiple choice. All right. Good question. Yes.
Do you curve?
Curve?
Yeah.
No, I don't do curve. If everyone gets an A, everyone gets an A. Curve is evil. I don't know why people do that. That's evil. All right. Do you want me to curve? Yeah? So do you expect that you would do
Yeah.
bad
Okay,
on
well,
exam?
wait, question.
Yes.
So like if everyone gets an A, that means like obviously you taught the material well and like the exam was very easy. But if everyone fails the test, what would you do in that instance?
It never happened before. But if that happens, I might consider curving. I don't think it's gonna happen. Because the exam's gonna be pretty easy. The quizzes, you'll see. It might sound a lot of high expectations for you guys, but it's easy. It's just more work, and if you do that, you get it. If you fail that, you might need to find out what's the problem is. All right. Okay. Good question. Yes.
Do you might have already mentioned this, but do you put your PowerPoints on eCampus?
Yes. After the class.
Okay.
Yes. Any other expectations? Well, what are the things that you don't like? Nothing?
Well, I just have a question. So, if, like the quizzes and exams aren't too difficult, is the difficult part of the class like that final paper?
No, they should be easy. The paper should be harder, in my opinion. Yeah. Yes.
For the expectations, I would say it might be difficult if we like find out information about the paper, like the class reports do or new expectations. Like if we know it clear ahead of time, like what the expectations are, so we can work ahead of time for the project and design.
Yeah, of course. We actually have a project day throughout the semester, and we'll make sure you're at that stage on that day. So you should be fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, just as long as it's like really clear, I feel like that.
It's gonna be very clear. You have a whole book to read. I think it's 20 pages about how you do it, all the steps. It might be on eCampus now. I don't know if I made that available. But if you have any questions, just ask me. Right? Good question. Any other questions? We good? Very good. If you have any other suggestions throughout the semester, let me know. And I take advices very well and feedback very well. I'm not gonna be offended or anything. Oh, speaking of that, there's one time I got this class evaluation says that, hey Juan, you need to have moral. I was like, what does that mean? I think it's because we talked about some like sensitive topics in class, but it's psychology. It's where you talk about sensitive stuff. All right. I'm not gonna be offended, but I might just tell you, hey, this is a class that you signed up for. All right. Chapter 1. No one finds that funny? I thought it was funny. All right, so what is social psychology? You guys know what psychology is. What is social psychology? Well, you guys didn't read the book, so I'll let you go this time. So social psychology is the scientific study of people's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in different social situations. And we want to see how do we influence other people and how other people influence us. Okay, so that's social psychology. So why do we study social psychology? Isn't social psychology just common sense? Yes or no? No, right? All right. So let's do practice together. You can just answer yes or no. Smiling can make you happier. Yes?
Yes.
It's not like happy makes you smile, but smile can make you happy. Yes? All right? Yes. Simply doing the smile makes you happy. People are good at detecting when someone's lying. How many people think it's yes? No? Okay, good. Well, you learn about this if you think you are very good at detecting when someone's lying. A lot of times that's just an illusion. Simply having other people around tends to make people perform better on easy tasks. Like if people are watching you when you're tying your shoelaces, you're gonna tie faster? No? It's actually yes. So, a study found, I almost stepped out of that too. So, a study found that if you are being observed and you're working on something that you're familiar with, you tend to do it better because you know that people are watching. But we'll talk about this later in details. It's just some fun practices. To change the way people act, you must change their attitudes first. Yes? No? It's yes. All right. People would cheer louder when they cheer as part of a group when they cheer alone. Yeah? I think it's no. That's called social loafing. And we'll talk about this more. You might think, oh, people are cheering and then you hyped up because everyone's cheering. It could be sometimes, but usually it's not the case. Social loafing is when you're in a group, you blend in and then you put in less effort. Then you will, if you're alone, you know people are looking at you. All right, in romantic relationships, opposite attract. How many think yes? No? Okay, very good. You talked about this in other classes, right? No? Oh, just based on personal experiences? All right, very good. In an emergency, the more people there are, the more likely you'll be to help. No. All right, that's bystander effect, is when there are a lot of people, they're not as likely to help the people who are in need. Again, this is just a brief point, and then we'll talk about this in details in future classes. Punching a pillow or screaming out loud is a good way to reduce frustration, aggressive tendencies. So you heard about those rooms that you can just smash things and make you feel better? Yes? Yeah. How many of you do that? I just scream in the pillow? No? So that's actually wrong. It doesn't really help. People will still feel aggressive and angry afterwards, usually. Most people will say no to a person in authority who asks them to hurt a stranger. Yes? No? So the famous study is the the shocking. Do you remember that? So yeah, no, unfortunately, someone's in authority. If they ask you to do something that's wrong, you might do it. Okay, the last one. Physically attractive individuals are usually seen as less intelligent than physically unattractive individuals. A saying that we always heard, blonde, like you just say blonde or stupid. Is that the same? I don't really remember, but I heard of it before in the movies that I see. So how many of you think that's true? You think it's true? You think people
Well,
really
I don't think it's actually, I don't.
Oh, so yeah, you think people think that, right?
Yeah.
So actually not. People think that it's called the halo effect. If people find this person attractive, they will think this person is more intelligent and more friendly, more kind. Just the halo effect. Like everything's good about this person. And we'll talk about that too. Okay, so is social psychology just common sense? No, it's not. So that's why we study social psychology. Sometimes people think it's common sense, but that's called hindsight bias. Is they think they knew it all along. It's that no, you actually don't. And we'll talk about this too. So we're going to talk about the history of social psychology very briefly, because I really don't care if you remember the name, who's the father of social psychology. It doesn't really matter, but I just want to introduce you to this person a little bit. So Kurt Lewin, he's considered the father of social psychology. So he has this function, this theory, is that behavior is a function of the person and the social situation environment. So what he's saying that the situation is very important, not just personality. So a lot of times, when you're driving and someone cuts you off, you'll be like, hey, jerk, right? You think that person is a jerk. The person is bad. Actually, we tend to ignore the situations. Maybe they're in a hurry because they have an emergency. Maybe the situation is just that they're late for the date. I don't know, but that still makes them a jerk, right? You shouldn't cut people off. But situation is important. A lot of times we ignore the situation. We just think the person is bad or this person is good. Okay. So this is Kurt Lewin. The first social psychological studies was conducted by Triplet. That's the last name. In 1898. You don't need to memorize the date, and you don't need to memorize who the person is, but you need to know the finding is that cyclists, they cycle faster when they were with others than they were by themselves. It doesn't matter whether they're teammates or they're competing with each other. They will ride faster if they're with other people. Okay. And then in 1913, Ringelmann did a different study, and the finding was that people pull harder in a tug of war when they're pulling alone than when they're pulling in a group. That's the social loafing I was talking about. So how they measure it is they measure how much strength they were using. If they're alone, they will put more strength than they're in a group. That's social loafing. Right? Okay. You get it? Or do you think it's kind of weird because the findings are kind of contradicting each other? Yes?
Well, I was wondering, since they're contradicting, how do you know what's going to be produced by the situation, whether the group's going to make them perform better?
Yeah, so that's why we need to conduct more study. Those are not just the one study and then we say this is the theory. People are behaving this way all the time. No, and also social psychology is because we're studying people. there are so many variables that we can't control for. It might vary between individuals. We can only make summarization and say, okay, most people might do this. Or in this population, we only study white people. White people might do this. I don't know if black people will do the same, Asian people will do the same. We don't know. That's why we need to conduct more studies. Good question. Yes? Oh, you had a question?
Could it be like, because like when you're cycling, they technically have like their own individual goal to like win that race, whereas like with tug of war, like you're doing something in unity in like the same way with like cheering louder. Like, could that be?
Yeah, that's possible. Could be your study idea for your group. That's possible, so you can test that. The answer is that I don't know. Just there are different findings for different studies. They might contradict each other. That's why we do meta-analysis. You guys know what meta-analysis is? Okay, we're good. So there's a question from the online people, I think. So this person says, the results make sense because cycling only requires one person, hence they will perform better when watched. Does that make sense? It's all possible. It's all possible. Very good. Okay. So any questions? No? All right, we're gonna be on time. So recap, we talked about the syllabus, and we talked about what is social psychology, and some brief history of social psychology. And reminder is that your extra credit is due Sunday midnight. Give me 1 second. And your quiz 1 is due Friday. For our next class, which is Friday, we're going to talk about how to conduct research in social psychology. And if you have an ad clicker, bring that to class. If you don't, send me an email, and so that I know how many people don't have an ad clicker, and we might change that later. All right, that's it. If you want to know how to register your ad clicker, if you haven't, that's the instruction. It's also on syllabus, and that's the read. All right, thank you guys. Oh, you need to exit that way. If you didn't notice, you can't go this way.
Well, I guess you have to do that, but like there's a class instead.
I got you. Are we going to be in that little three-person group?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as it said 3 to 4 people, I was like, okay, there we go.
I like those numbers actually. Yeah.